That sound outside your RV at night can hit like a punch. If you've ever been alone and felt that pit in your stomach, you know that fear gets worse when you're isolated. You have no cell service, and you realize you don't actually have a plan. In the next few minutes, I'm going to give you my practical 3-layer approach that RVers should use to feel safer off-grid. This stays legal across state lines and doesn't involve a firearm. This is how you stop feeling like a target and start feeling secure. Here's the question you need to ask yourself tonight. If something pulls up next to your rig, do you have steps already decided on, or are you about to figure it out in real time? This isn't theory for me. Back in 2021 during COVID, it was 2 a.m. in the middle of the California desert. A vehicle pulled right next to my rig. No headlights, the engine just idled, and I was alone. I had no cell service, and my only defense was a flimsy door lock and hope. Nothing happened that night. They eventually drove off, but that was my wake-up call. I realized I had no real options between doing nothing and lethal force. And for me, a gun in the RV was a liability. The laws change every time you cross state lines, and some campgrounds forbid them. Taking one to Mexico is a nightmare, and I go there at least once a year. Plus, in a tiny rolling space, secure storage is a huge risk. I didn't want one extreme option. I wanted a toolkit. I wanted control without the legal headaches or the moral weight. If you want more real-world solutions to stay safe on the road, please take a moment and like the video and subscribe. It helps me keep sharing these lessons with the rest of our RV community. That control I was looking for came from the Byrna LE Kinetic Ultimate Bundle, a less lethal self-defense and home defense device. It's a less lethal launcher powered by CO2 that fires rounds filled with military-grade pepper spray and tear gas. It can disable a threat from 60 feet away. What sold me was how it feels in the moment. There's no recoil and no deafening bang. It doesn't feel like a weapon of last resort. It feels like control. It's a strong tool, but the real power is in the layers, because layers beat luck. Let's build that approach now, starting with the small details that turn fear into confidence. Layer 1 is deterrence. My goal is to make my RV a terrible target, so a potential threat thinks, nope, too much trouble, and just moves on. I use solar-powered motion lights. They're cheap, and they automatically turn night into day if anything gets close to your perimeter. But what if they aren't deterred? Darkness is the criminal's best friend. So I take that layer away with layer 2, alerting. This is about knowing they're there before they even get inside. I use the Wise camera. If I hear a noise, I don't have to guess what's out there. I look at my phone, it gives me information, and information is power. Now hear this part clearly. If deterrence and alerts fail, you need to know exactly what to do when you're face-to-face with a threat. The Byrna LE is my primary tool, and it's ready to go in a case right by my bed. But I also keep backups. One is bear spray. It shoots a 30-foot cloud of pain that's effective on bears and even more effective on people. Just remember, you can't fly with it. The piece that makes all this work when you're truly remote, the one tool that ties it all together, is the Garmin InReach Mini. That's my lifeline. If the worst happens and I have no cell service, I can hit the SOS button and be connected to emergency responders via satellite. It isn't cheap, but it makes every other layer in this approach 100% more effective because I know help is actually on the way. Now, let's look at the part most people skip, which is why they still feel exposed even with gear. This starts before bedtime. When I arrive at a site, I don't instantly commit. I stop short and stay mobile because the next minute decides the whole night. If I'm towing, my wheels stay straight and I stay hitched. When I'm in my motorhome, my phone is always on me. Before I get back in and settle, I check my escape route. Can I pull out in one clean move? I look for low branches, tight poles, soft shoulders, ditches, and blind turns. If a quick exit looks risky, I change sites before I'm stuck. Signal matters because it helps lives on the other end of the call. I confirm at least 2 bars for voice if I rely on telemedicine or daily family check-ins, and I run a 5-second hotspot test. If I can't reach help and I need to, I choose another spot while I'm still mobile. That one habit alone replaces a lot of anxiety. Once I'm set, I run a simple routine that protects the night. exterior motion lights on, shades down so gear isn't on display, valuables out of sight, doors and windows locked. Then I stage the same 4 things by the exit every single night: my flashlight, my light jacket, my keys, and my meds. I put them in the same spot every time so I'm not thinking under stress. I send one check-in text to a trusted person with the city, my site number, and the words "all good." And I never post my exact location online until after I leave. If something happens anyway, like that 2 a.m. moment, here's my rule. I don't open the door, I lock it. I flip on exterior lights, and I speak through the door without unlocking anything. I say, "Please step back where I can see you. I'm calling the office to verify." Then I call the campground or 911 on a speaker so the person outside could hear it. If they claim their staff, I confirm it by phone before anything else. If they won't identify themselves or step into the light, I say, "I'm on the phone with 911 now," and I keep recording. Secure first, verify second, then decide whether to help or move. Security isn't just about intruders, it's also about how to protect your rig from the things that could wreck your night just as fast. Before I plug in at a campground, I test the pedestal first with a simple 3-light tester and adapter. If it's clean, I let a real EMS, not just a surge guard, stand between my rig and bad power. Mine gives a clear, all good light before I connect. And it has already shut us down when a pedestal had a ground fault. If the cover is loose or scorched, I don't touch it. If my tester or EMS flags bad power, I stop, I find another pedestal, or run an extension cord from a safe one, because I'm not gambling midnight sparks and $1,000 repairs. I also keep the basics that turn emergencies into non-events. A smoke alarm with dead batteries is just wall decor. So I keep my smoke and CO2 alarms working. And I have more than one fire extinguisher. One in the kitchen, one in the bedroom, and one in the cab. Because one extinguisher in one place isn't a plan. That night in the desert changed how I travel, but it didn't ruin it for me. It forced me to replace fear with a plan. Now when I pull into a remote spot, I don't feel anxious. I feel prepared, I sleep better, and I enjoy freedom of this lifestyle more because I'm not just hoping to be safe. I have an approach that seems to ensure it. Every piece of gear I mentioned is linked in the description below, but I want to hear from you. Have you had a sketchy moment on the road? Drop a comment and share what happened so we can all learn from each other. If this video gave you a clear plan to feel safer in your RV, please hit the subscribe and like. For more great RV and boondocking tips, click some of my other videos right over here. I'll see you down the road.